Hey guys, it's Dan here from Cool Smartphone, bringing you a quick video head-to-head between two voice assistants that are now available on different smartphone platforms. So we've probably heard of Siri, which is available on iOS, so that'd be on the iPad, iPod Touch and iPhone. Very, very popular service, made very famous by Apple. Lots of people around the world use it in their millions. Google have their own service, which is called Google Now. It's like a card-based searching system that lets you do things like set your appointments, do text messages, check the weather, that kind of thing. And it's been around for a little while, very popular again with lots of people. Microsoft have just announced probably a couple of weeks ago their 8.1 developer system. It's going to be available to everyone coming to the summer who's running a Windows Phone 8 device. But if you can get hold of the developer preview, you can kind of give it a go now. Cortana isn't actually available in the UK. It is an American service at the moment, but there are ways of allowing it to work by changing your region. And if you do a Google search, you'll be able to find out how to do it. It's quite easy to do. But it is in beta form, so bear that in mind. But what I wanted to do was just compare the two to each other to see how they kind of stand off right now. So I've got my Lumia 1020. Had for a little while. I have installed the developer preview onto this, and Clove very kindly loaned me a Moto X. Now, the reason I asked for a Moto X was I hadn't actually used one before, but it has a rather unique feature that while the phone is actually locked and on sleep mode, you can actually activate the voice feature. Now, it only works when it's quite close to your face. It doesn't seem to pick it up when it's resting like here on a table. But if I was to say, "Okay, Google Now." Okay, Google Now. There we go, picked up a second time. Up it comes, and I can speak to it and ask it to, what's the weather like, or when's my next appointment, that kind of thing. Only unique to that device, so I'm not going to be really using that as a comparison between the two, because that wouldn't be fair. What I want to do is compare the searching and the whole kind of assistant side of things. So I've got a couple of example questions I want to ask. I want to see which one gives the best results, which one looks the best, which one do you think is the best, what do you think? I'd be interested to hear your feedback between the two results. So, as I said, I've got my phone here running the, as you can see by the 3 column tiles, it's running the 8.1 developer preview, including Cortana. And I have the Moto X, which runs the latest version of Android, which is the 8.4.2. I've tried this video 5 times, I've got that wrong every time. This runs basically the latest version of Android. So what I want to do is compare the two, see what they come up with for results, and see what you think. So to activate Cortana, there's 2 ways. You can either tap on it here, on the icon, you can pin to your home screen, or you can tap on the search magnifying glass kind of search in the corner. That will do the same. That will access where you can text search. If you hold on to the button, it enables voice search. With Google Now, you can tap in the search bar and it will bring up a text search, or you can tap on the little microphone and you can do a voice search. So what I'm going to do is some voice search, because that's going to be a key thing really. So let's have a look and see what's best. What's the weather like in Torbay?
It's 14 degrees and partly cloudy in Torbay, UK.
So you can see first off, Google Now picked it up straight away. It's giving me the roughly current to the hour time. I've got a progress bar. I can kind of slide along to see the different temperature and weather for the day. Nice in colour. Cortana has actually not picked up Torbay. It's actually picked up Torbay, so it's done a Bing search. Tried this a couple of times before and I was getting the same result every time, unfortunately. So it seems as if the Google kind of system it uses is better at picking up voices and for searching. It also did the same if I tried my local, which is actually where I live, in Torquay. It would actually pick up things like 2K instead of Torquay, whereas Google Now would work. But we'll try it again now, see what happens. What's the weather like in Torquay?
It's 14 degrees and partly cloudy in Torquay.
So there we go. So Cortana thinks I said Torquay. as in speaking. So it's done a Bing search for walkie-talkies. Google Now knew I was talking about the town of Torquay and has actually done the same search. Don't like much of the weather from Friday onwards, but at least I know it's going to be raining. So it seems as if Google Now is better at picking up most places more than obviously Cortana will be. It's okay for the big places. If I was to try things like, what's the weather like in London?
It's currently 59 and partly sunny in London.
So London, it's a little bit bigger than Torquay, obviously. You can kind of see the differences. Google Now picks up, obviously it's a colour card, with the colours like the blue for the rain and the thunder and the sun, whereas the Cortana search is very much basic white on black background. But it does the same thing. Now with Google Now, it displays the temperature in Celsius, and you just tap the little F, it changes it to Fahrenheit. With Cortana, you can do it by voice search, so it recognises you've just done a weather search, so all you need to do is say, what's that in Celsius?
I converted that temperature to Celsius.
And it will just convert the whole weather over for you into Celsius. So that's quite a nice handy feature. Obviously, say London is obviously bigger than some of the smaller towns. But it's nice to have that feature on there. If you want to check the weather forecast coming up, no more doing searches on Bing or Google or Yahoo. You can just use your phone, a quick voice search, and there it is. So now you can do things like time as well. So you can say things like, what's the time in Los Angeles?
The time in Los Angeles, California, USA is 5:48 a.m.
Again, same results, obviously, because it's time-based. Top of the list is the Cortana search. It's told me current time in Los Angeles, California, United States is 5:48 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And on Google Now, it's picked up the same thing like a card at the top. So handy being able to do that on searches, again, by voice search. Again, you can type these in and it will display the same kind of content. So now you've got things like quite handy like for lunch breaks. So you've got timer. So you might want to set a timer for 30 minutes if that's your lunch break. So let's see what happens on here. Set a timer for 30 minutes.
All right. What time would you like your alarm?
So you can see between the two already, the time right now is 1:49, and it works out that I wanted a timer for 30 minutes. You can see Cortana's actually still searching. Google Now knew that I wanted a timer for 30 minutes, so it set an alarm for 30 minutes from now. So it does the same thing. It doesn't call it a timer, it calls it an alarm, but it does the same thing. It knows what I want. With Cortana, what it's done is, I asked the same question, obviously, set a timer for 30 minutes, but now it's asking what time would I like my alarm. So I can now say, I could say 30 minutes.
What time did you want the alarm?
30 minutes.
I've set an alarm for 2:55 p.m.
So it's set an alarm, but I had to ask it a couple of times rather than just doing the initial what I wanted it to do of set an alarm for 20 minutes or set my timer for 30 minutes. So Google Now does win on there. It converts that I said timer, but I meant alarm, and it just set the time for me. With Cortana, I did need to repeat myself a few times for it to actually do it, but it did it. So again, it's quicker than going, swiping, going to your alarm and setting it manually and doing it that way. It does do it, so it's an improvement. Some improvement is still needed on that kind of service, especially if it is to be your voice assistant. So we've done the weather, we've done the time, we've tried a timer. We can also do text messages. Now this was very hit and miss when I tried on Android, but it does seem to work very well on Cortana, so let's give it a go. Send a text message.
Who do you want to text?
All right. Who's the text going to?
Skype.
Sure.
Say the name
Send
of
a
the
text
contact that
to
you want
Skype.
text to say cancel.
What's your message?
Skype.
Try repeating the contact name, as say cancel.
Skype.
Sure. I'll text Skype. Try replacing the contact name I say cancel. Send it, add more, or try again.
So as you can see, they're kind of cancelling each other out on there, so I'll need to do this individually.
The person that you're trying to text.
So let's try this separately. So if I go to send a text message,
Whom do you want to text?
Skype,
Say the name of the contact that you want to text to say cancel.
Skype,
Try repeating the contact name, say cancel.
Skype,
The person that you're trying to text may not be in your contacts. Touch to pick a contact.
So I do have a Skype number in my address book. It didn't seem to like anything I tried with doing a text. But yeah, Cortana does seem to pick it up very well. So if I try, send a text message.
Okay, who do you want to text?
Skype.
Sure, send a text to Skype. What do you want to say?
This is a test using Cortana.
Alright, I'll text Skype. This is a test using Cortana. Send it, add more, or try again.
No.
Here's your message. This is a test using Cortana. Send it, add more, or try again.
Cancel.
Message cancelled.
So you can see it did pick up Skype, it did pick up the message I want to send, and would have allowed me to send it without actually having to type in any message. So Cortana does seem to win with this, which is very, very nice. I did notice the speed was very, very impressive. The text was very accurate, and very, very impressed with how Cortana handled the sending of a text message. So another thing they also do is reminders, so you can set a reminder to do something. So let's try comparing those. At 6 p.m, remind me to do something.
Alright, tell me your reminder.
Do something.
Alright, remind you to do something at 6 p.m. today. Is that right?
Yes.
Sure thing.
So Cortana obviously came up with a reminder to do something today at 6 p.m. Had to speak to it twice to do it. Google Now has, if you saw the screen there, it's added the message do something today at 6. But I need to actually hit remind me at this time for it to actually work. So there's just an extra step needed on, whereas you have to tap on that, whereas you have to speak again to Cortana. So very much the same. It's nice to see them both do kind of in a head-to-head the same thing. Yeah, you had to do it a slightly different way, but at the end of the day, it took about a second longer. This phone will remind me to do something at 6. This phone will remind me to do something at 6. So very, very easy to use and very nice to see rather than having to do it the manual way. So now you can also do things like distances because both phones have GPS. So you can say things like, let's try, how long will it take me to walk to work?
It'll take 50 minutes to walk to TQ25PW. It's about 3 miles away.
So you can see Cortana actually gives me the distance in minutes and in miles, gives me a little map and speaks it out to me. On that kind of a search, Google Now it actually did a web search. It's probably because I haven't got my work address saved in here. So if I was to say, how long will it take me to walk to TQ2 5PW? Again, that hasn't done it either. So going by location searches so far, Cortana does seem to win. Quite interesting, really, with Google and their whole mapping system, how it's actually lost to the new beta service. That's surprised even me, which is it's nice to see a brand new service keeping up to date and beating some of the bigger services from Google. So another thing I've got on my list is I'm a football fan. If you're America, that means I'm a soccer fan. Chelsea big Chelsea fan. So I'm going to do things like a search for their manager. So who is he, and see what it gives me a result. I'm also going to ask who they played next and see what that gives. So, who is the manager of Chelsea?
Chelsea FC's manager is
Jose Mourinho.
So it's quite interesting listening to the two differences in the voice. So if I ask that again, who is the manager of Chelsea?
Chelsea FC's manager is Jose Mourinho.
And then you ask Cortana, who is the manager of Chelsea?
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho. So again, different accents, different setup, but it found it. The Google Now one is kind of a lot better, really. It does give the same information. Obviously, it's got the name, Chelsea FC manager, but it's actually got a little picture to go with it, which is quite a nice touch from Google. It's very plain text on Cortana, but again, it does what it's supposed to do. You want to find out who the manager is, and it will tell you who the manager is, so that works. I'm sorry to do this to the Man United fans, but I need to ask this. Who is the manager of Manchester United?
Ryan Giggs and David
Ryan
Moyes.
Giggs.
So there we go. It's actually updated itself already to say that Ryan Giggs is actually now in charge of Manchester United. Interesting, on Google Now, it actually said Ryan Giggs and David Moyes. This was about a day or two after David Moyes was obviously let go as manager, so it's still kind of got him tracking under the Manchester United brand on here. Cortana's actually updated straight away and just has Ryan Giggs, so very quick on the updates, very, very impressive. You can also do things like obviously more general searches, like how tall is the Rockefeller Center?
The GE building is 259.08 meters tall.
There we go. Obviously, you've got the two results there. Cortana's actually put a picture next to it, which is quite nice. That's the first time I've seen a picture in a search on Cortana. Looking at the Google Now search, it's actually got a map with it as well as a picture, so you could quickly go into the map if you wanted to and find your way there. Again, going to be the same results, but it was nice to have a comparison between the two, but the same information. Nice to see Cortana with a picture. It does maths questions as well, so simple things like, how much is 100 euros in Great British pounds?
100 euros equals 82.41 British pounds sterling.
So Google Now has actually done the conversion for me, whereas it looks like Bing isn't actually giving me, it's giving me web searches. How much is 100 euros in pounds?
100 euros equals 82.22 pounds sterling.
So I had to say normal pounds for it to work. Again, it's done the same thing. I've noticed that Cortana seems to be very specific on what you ask. So like with the timer, you ask it to set your timer. It kind of then thinks it's an alarm, but doesn't know what time you want the alarm. You have to say it again. Whereas Google Now just seems to do the search. So it seems a lot more web-based, I would say, on this. It kind of converts a lot of stuff over for you. Asking things like maths questions also work really easily. What is 1,512 times 1,512?
The answer is 2,286,144.
So Google Now, obviously, it's going to be the same result, but Google Now actually spoke the answer out, whereas Cortana just displayed it on screen. Just a couple of examples, really, of comparing obviously the Cortana to Google Now. This was just on these two devices here. See, there's plenty of other devices available you can try it on. It was really interesting to see. Cortana does search very, very quickly. It's a lot more basic with the information, but it does at least give you the information that you need. Google Now is a lot more prettier, if you like, with the kind of interface. It's a lot more detailed with more pictures. You look at the Chelsea manager one, for example, and it actually displayed a picture. whereas Cortana just displayed the text. Little things like that can make a big difference to what you want to do. Are you a Windows Phone user though? Would you use Cortana? Would you switch to Google to use Google Now? On the other hand, are you a Android user, and after seeing the demo, would you switch to Cortana to make use of using Windows Phone? It's nice to have different operating systems out there with different approaches to things, and at least have some comparisons. So, and I'm getting all my messages through now. So, thanks for watching. This has been a pretty long video, 20 odd minutes. Hopefully you weren't too bored going through everything. I wanted to highlight some of the main kind of key searches to kind of show off really a head-to-head between these two voice assistants. Let me know what you think. Please post some comments. Check out Cool Smartphone for a lot more content and my thoughts on Cortana versus Google Now. I'm going to be getting an iPhone in shortly to actually compare Cortana to Google Now to Siri as well. So we'll have a three-way head-to-head between all of them. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment and like the video if you do like it. And I'll see you on more of my next videos. Bye for now.